How have those systems really impacted the growth of your real estate empire?
Sure. Yeah. So systems are everything. And I think you have to, number one, start with knowledge, right? Like if you don't have the knowledge to do what you're doing, which is why Azreia and so many groups like that are so powerful because you have to have the knowledge base to go out and do it. So it starts with knowledge, but then it goes on to systems, right? Which is like, can I actually take that knowledge and then double down and do it at scale or do it at my greatest potential? And so, whether I'm scaling a business or I'm scaling my real estate empire, it really is about systems because you can only grow to the degree that you organize. And I know Greg Slaughter, one of my good friends, that's a part of the Azreia group.
Hmm.
We talk about systems and processes all day long. And I think that if I didn't have the systems and processes in place, I might have 1,000 doors or 1,500 doors because capital and knowledge can only get you so far. But if you can turn something into a replicatable process, and it doesn't matter if you're wholesaling or you're flipping or you're buying and holding like me, or you're doing single family or multifamily, systems will allow you to get exponential value out of what you're investing in.
So systems, like, obviously important word, very important to our world, but it's thrown out there a
Right.
lot. So what do you say to that investor that's just like, they're an idea guy, they're the vision guy, maybe the action
Sure.
taker, and that engineer part isn't in their world?
Right.
How do they
Right.
get that into their business, and who do they contact?
Yeah, the first thing is that you have to look at things through the lens of processes and milestones, KPIs, like small fractionalized efforts that get to the end goal. So a visionary, they can see the end. In the beginning, they can see the end, right? They know what they ultimately want. And they have to get to a place where they fractionalize those steps to actually get to fulfillment. Because if they just go out and start shooting at, whatever makes sense to them, but it's not fractionalized, it's not small incremental steps towards the end goal, then they're not truly stepping into systems and processes. And that's what systems and processes are. They're just fractionalized steps towards the end result. I built a system called Empire, and it's called the Empire Operating System. We've got close to 3,000 companies globally on that thing. And it's what it is. It's a model that you can put into any business, right? And I built it. I never built it as a product. I built it as a greasy wrench for my own businesses. I had
Hmm.
86 businesses at one time. And it's like I just needed a way to talk about the business, to set the right goals, to set the right KPIs, to measure performance, to understand how to speak about the finances. And that ladders right into real estate. So the 3,000 businesses that use Empire, a good portion of them are real estate investors because real estate should never be looked at as a hobby or just an investment. Real estate should be looked at as a business. If we would look at our real estate as a business, and I do mine, like I don't just look at it as an investment. I look at every apartment complex, every group of homes as a business. And because then it's going to cause me to set goals. It's going to create a process for a standard of performance that's going to force me into thinking correctly about it. Yes, it is an investment, but if run like a business, you're going to get so much more value out of that investment.
Wow, I want to know the operating system you have to run the 86 businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Amazing.
And that's what it is. I created the Empire operating system because I had a bunch of other systems that I had basically bought off a shelf that just didn't, I kept hitting the ceiling. And I wanted to have one system that I could run everything on. I wanted a piece of software. I also wanted a model. And that's what we did almost 6 years ago now. So it's been quite the journey.
And it works for even the local real estate fix and flipper landlord.
It does. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't, you don't have to be doing $1 million in sales to make a system make sense. You don't have to even have employees. It's just a way of actually tracking and creating the right metrics and success patterns that you can track to get to the end result you want.
And that's very important, Eddie, because a lot of real estate investors, they're either one or two things. They're the visionary or they're the meticulous engineer, right? And
Right.
sometimes the engineer, they can see the vision, but they have a fuzzy indication of what that vision is. And then the
Mm.
visionary, they can see that vision, but don't know how to get there. So what you
Yeah,
created kind of mirrors or married the two together so you can definitely reach
it does.
success.
It does. Somebody that's an operator, they're the engineer. It forces them to actually articulate what the vision is because then you have to fractionalize the steps towards that end goal. So it forces them into vision. For the visionary, it forces you into taking all the steps necessary to see the vision come to life.